ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇರೆ ಶ್ಲೋಕ
ಇನ್ನಜ್ಜಿ ರಾಧಿಕಾ ಅನ್ಸಿದ್ದಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ
இல்ல நான் மைக்ல பேசியிருந்தேன் இவ்வளவு நேரம் கேட்கல போலாச்சு இப்ப ஹலோ
கேக்குறது எனக்கு கேக்குறது
ஓகே ஸ்லோகம் शुक्लां भरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः अपारकरुणासिन्धुं ज्ञानदं शान्तरूपिणं श्रीचन्द्रशेखरगुरुं प्रणमामि मुदान्वहं सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्ससुधिर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं
कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं
कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं धन्यवादः गुरुजी
okay so ellarume mute la irukku I mean nobody is on the video no problem So we will quickly revise what we had seen in the last two classes and then proceed further. Basically, the first class we looked at it, the importance of Bhagavad Gita as told in the Bhajagovindam, both the Bhagavad Gita as well as Vishnu Sahasranamam, how it is important. Both of them are part of the Mahabharatam, written by Vyasacharya. One is happening in the Bhishma Parva, another is happening in the Anushasana Parva. And the Bhajagovindam is an apt one to describe it because another name for Bhagavad Gita is a Moha Mudghara. Moha means, comes from the Mukh Dhatu, to get confused. The confusion is normally happen between what is dharma and adharma, that is in the day-to-day life, and at the higher level the confusion happens between atma and anatma, that is what is my real swarupa. Both the moha will go away by understanding the Bhagavad Gita as well as Vishnu Sahasranama. Then the Bhagavad Gita not only removes the confusion between the Atma and Anatma, it also shows the way or the preparation for getting into the understanding the meaning. Basically, it is talking about a way of living called the Karma Yoga. Basically, the Karma Yoga is nothing but the normal work, karma that we do, day-to-day activities that we do, but with a different attitude. We will look into it, all those things in detail later. And karma yoga prepares the person, or the person gets the required adhikaritvam, eligibility, to read and understand what Veda is talking about, the Jiva Ishvara Aikyam, or otherwise called Tatitvam Asi. Then what Bhagavad Gita teaches is nothing different from what has been told in Veda, but it is all put in a much more simplistic form. So Bhagavad Gita is nothing but the reproduction of Veda in a very concise manner, which everybody can understand easily. Then last class we started discussing how this Veda and the Bhagavad Gita are relevant to our day-to-day life. Only when it is relevant, we will adopt it for our day-to-day life. Otherwise, people will think these are all meant for only the sannyasis, or those who are not in the grahastha lifestyle. But what Veda as well as Bhagavad Gita says, that the very life is for the grahastha, and the grahasthas can follow the karma yoga lifestyle and get moksha in this life itself. So we need then to understand how all of us can make ourselves eligible for the adhikaritva. This is what we have discussed so far. Are there any doubt for anybody on the thing what we have looked at so far? Elena, proceed. Answer on that, I can proceed. There must be a response from your end. Okay?
Okay, Guruji, we can proceed, Guruji.
Okay. So then, to understand the relevance, first of all, we should know what we want in our life. What is the main purpose of our life? Can somebody say what we want? What is our aim in our life? Unmute பண்ணுங்க, கேக்குறது இல்ல.
மோக்ஷம் குருஜி. மோக்ஷம்.
Okay, எதுக்காக மோக்ஷம்?
இந்த ஜனன மரண இதுலேந்து
final destination. நான் கேக்குறது வந்து it should be relevant our day to day life. What I am trying to say is Geetha as well as Veda. When I talk Geetha, I also keep Veda also into the mind. Okay, Veda of way of living and Geetha as a way of living. If pretty relevant, actually we have to understand. Appo to understand that our day-to-day life, what exactly we want, what is the aim for which we work on a day-to-day life. In every activity that we involve, what is expected of that?
Good human being.
Sorry?
follow Veda.
It's not audible.
Good human being இருக்கணும், நல்லது செய்யணும். நம்ம பிறவியில எடுத்ததுக்கு கெட்டது இல்லாம நல்லது பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கணும்.
இல்ல எதுக்கு நல்லது பண்ணணும்? சரி, நம்ம வாழ்க்கையில என்ன எதிர்பார்க்கிறோம்? நல்லது பண்றதுக்கு, நல்லது பண்ணணும்னாக்கா எதுக்கு நல்லது பண்ணணும்? எனி ஆக்ஷன்
நிம்மதியா இருக்கணும், ஹாப்பியா இருக்கணும்.
சாரி, ஹாப்பியா இருக்கணும். Okay, any other goal?
Peace of mind, Guruji.
Okay, that is called nimmadi, that is called happiness. So finally it amounts to whatever we do, we should get happiness. Correct? Is that understand? Happiness is whether we have money whether we have got a house, whether we have got a flat, whether we have got all the other the same. As long as we are happy, we are satisfied. Am I correct? Okay. Then to get the happiness, what we do?
We work towards that.
Sorry?
We work towards that, Guruji.
We work towards that. What type of work we do?
நல்ல காரியமா பண்றோம். So that நல்ல காரியமா பண்ணினோம்னாக்கா ஹாப்பினஸ் இருக்கும். அந்த ரொம்ப ராகத்வேஷத்துல இருக்காமைக்கு நம்ம நல்லதனமா இருந்தோம்னாக்கா நமக்கும் ஹாப்பினஸா இருக்கும், அடுத்த வாழ்க்கும் கஷ்டம் கொடுக்காம இருக்கும்.
தான தர்மங்கள்லாம் நிறைய பண்ணலாம் குருஜி. that also gives happiness. அடுத்தவளை சந்தோஷப்படுத்தினா நம்ம சந்தோஷமா இருப்போம்.
காலையில ராத்திரி வரைக்கும் தான தர்மம் மட்டும்தான் பண்ண முடியுமா?
வீட்டுல இருக்கிறவளை சந்தோஷப்படுத்தினா நம்ம சந்தோஷமா இருக்கலாம்.
when I say day to day lifeல நம்ம என்ன பண்றோம் நினைச்சு பாருங்க. காத்தால எழுந்ததுல இருந்து ராத்திரி படுத்துக்க போற வரைக்கும் என்னெல்லாம் பண்றோம், that is the day to day life.
வேதத்துல சொல்லிருக்கு
தான தர்மம் பண்றது ஒரே நிமிஷம். தான தர்மம் பண்றதுங்கிறது ஐ அக்ரி. பட் காத்தால நான் 5 மணிக்கு எழுந்ததுல இருந்து ராத்திரி 8 மணி 9 மணி வரைக்கும் தான தர்மம் மட்டும்தான் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோமா? வேற ஒண்ணுமே பண்றது இல்லையா?
என்ன பண்ணாலும் ஒரு ஹாப்பினஸ்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. அதுவும் பார்ட் ஆஃப் தட்னு சொல்லுவாங்க.
நம்ம பண்ற கர்மத்தை ஃபாலோ பண்ணணும். we must do all our karmas properly. என்ன கர்மம் பண்ணாலும் properly right manner. Right,
what is right, what is wrong?
தர்மசாஸ்திரத்தை சொன்னபடி நம்ம என்ன பண்றோமோ அந்த அது படிக்கு நம்ம நடந்தோம்னா, சாஸ்திரப்படி நடந்தோம்னாக்கா கரெக்டா நல்ல தர்ம வழியில நடக்கிறோம் அப்படின்னு வச்சுக்கலாமா குருஜி?
கர்மானுஷ்டானங்களை ஃபாலோ பண்ணணும்
குருஜி. be attached to the karma we do.
கர்மானுஷ்டானங்களை ஃபாலோ பண்ணணும்.
தர்மானுஷ்டானங்களை பாருங்க. சோ தர்மானுஷ்டானம் பண்றதுக்கு எது எங்க இருந்து நமக்கு தெரியும்? யாரு சொல்லி தருவா? எது தர்மா எது அதர்மாங்கிறது
வேதத்துல சொல்லியிருக்கிறபடி கர்ம அனுஷ்டானங்களை
சொன்னதெல்லாம் நமக்கு தெரியுமா? வேதம் அவ்வளவு பெரிய கடல். வேதத்துல சொன்னது எல்லாமே நமக்கு தெரியுமா? இல்ல நினைச்சு பாருங்க. டே டு டே லைஃப்ல நீங்க எழுந்து பண்ற ஓகே, அது இப்ப பண்ற சமயத்துல வேதத்துல என்ன சொல்லிருக்குன்னு தெரியுமா? இல்ல ஒவ்வொருத்தரா பேசுங்க. ஐ எம் நாட் ஏபிள் டு decipher it because I want to make it relevant to all of you. Why Veda and Bhagavad Gita is relevant and how it is relevant. Both I am going to cover it. Adnalna you should be able to relate it. Okay.
Consciousness padi our conscious will tell us, Guruji, நம்ம தப்பு பண்றோமா ரைட்டா பண்றோமா, true to our consciousness. That is what I think.
Okay, இல்ல அது நம்ம கான்ஷியஸ் சொன்னது எல்லாமே கரெக்டா இருக்குமான்னு நமக்கு தெரியுமா? பிகாஸ் ஏதாவது கரெக்டா இருக்கணும், அதுக்கு ஒரு பிரமாணம் இருந்தா தான் அது கரெக்டா. இல்லை நம்ம கான்ஷியஸ் மைண்ட் சே நம்மளோட brought upல என்ன இருக்கோ that conscious might say. Even when my conscious say when I do the thing, it may not be absolute dharma. It may be an adharma for somebody.
Correct.
For example, நான் சொல்றேன், சும்மா சொல்றேன். உங்க ஆத்துல யாரா வேலை பண்றவா இருக்கா வச்சுக்கோங்களேன். ஒரு 2 பேர் வேலை பண்றவா இருக்கா. அதுல அவளுக்கு யாருக்கோ ஒரு நெருக்கடி இருக்கு, 2 பேருக்கு நெருக்கடி இருக்கு. அவ உங்ககிட்ட பைசா கேட்கிறா, நீங்க கொடுக்குற. ஓகே, இட்ஸ் a good giving a தானம், நீங்க கொடுக்குற. But depending upon their type of problem, to one of them you are giving 2,000 rupees and another person you are giving 1,000 rupees. Okay, that may be as per your consciousness. Okay, you feel that this is good enough for this problem, etc. So when this is given, this is a good action. As far as you are concerned, dhanam is a good action. Okay. Now, if whether this dhanam is absolutely dharma, absolutely good or not, who has to decide?
ஈஸ்வரன் குருஜி
see relevance பாருங்க ஈஸ்வரன் வந்து சொல்லிட்டு இருப்பாரா நீங்க பண்ணது கரெக்டா இல்லன்னு சொல்லி சொல்லுவாரா
இல்ல அவரோட கடவுளுக்கு பயந்து பண்ணணுமான்னு கேட்டேன் கடவுளுக்கும் மனசாட்சிக்கும் பயந்து பண்ணணுமா அப்படிங்கறது கேக்குறேன்
தர்மத்தை ஃபாலோ பண்ணா பயப்பட வேண்டிய அவசியமே இல்லை அப்ப அந்த தர்மம் என்னங்கிறது தெரிஞ்சுக்கு தான் சொல்லி கொண்டு வரேன் ஓகே now when this 1000 rupees 2000 rupees is given the person who has got 2000 rupees he or she is comparatively happy he thanks then the other person you given on a different time you gave one person in the morning another person in the evening the second person got 1000 that person also got it okay then it so happened normally it happens they meet somewhere else they talk they said well the first person says amma she gave 2000 rupees the first person 2000 onu kuda enakku onnu 1000 da kodutha yen eppadi panna solli theriyala enakkum adhe mari da problem irukka so that person is no more satisfied when the comparison whether they are what they are doing it correct or not I am not trying to say that there is still a feeling of
dissatisfaction prabhu guruji
satisfaction and then that person says this person has discriminated me so andamari that person when he or she feel discriminated is it as per even though it is as per the consciousness it seems to be it has not given rise to the purpose for which you have given and when that person comes and complains to you why you give only 1000 and then she start arguing so what happens to her happiness just think about it கோவம் தானே வரும் உனக்கு என்ன வேணுமோ அதுக்கு உனக்கு கொடுத்தா நீ ஏன் வந்து கம்ப்ளைண்ட் பண்ணதானே சொல்லுவோம் அப்ப என்னாச்சு அந்த ஹாப்பினஸ் என்னாச்சு ஹாப்பினஸ் கம்மியா எடுத்தா ஓகே so what I am trying to say is on the first instance when we gave we are happy that we did something second instant when they come and complain that no more happiness is there the action remaining the same okay the reaction from the person makes it whether it is absolutely good or relatively good appo an action is good or bad is not determined by the one who does the action but also how the recipient is taking that actions phalam as it is okay this is all we need to relate it I would like to relate to my experience in the workplace I was the total in charge of the manufacturing plant and then every time at the end of the year the increment is decided we have certain way of assessing the performance of the persons a more scientific way of doing it consulting along with the department heads and other things and accordingly we fix the increment for them okay then it will be definitely it will be different level for different person then we feel that we have done a good job and the management will feel that we have done a very good job and everybody should be satisfied to my utter disappointment. Every time the increment, after increment is given, the atmosphere will be worse. Why? The comparison starts. So everybody will start coming and saying, I got only this much, that person has got more, this person has got more, he did not do anything, whether I worked very hard. This type of comparison will be there. Naturally, that person, the person who is complaining, may not know why we are given to that person. We have to assess it properly. So first one or two times I have to hear to them, and then to my best of knowledge I used to satisfy them. So then I found, supposing I remove the discrepancy in the increment, and irrespective of the person, give all of them 1,000 rupees increment every year, then I thought everybody will be happy. Okay. Then again I found that is again giving rise to complaint. Person will say, I did so much work, I also got 1,000 rupees. The other person did not do anything, he also got 1,000 rupees. So, since the comparison on the part of the recipient is what finally makes you unhappy all the time. So the happiness, what I am trying to say is, the happiness doesn't involve the reaction from the person. Or to put it more grossly, the happiness that we feel that we are getting is not from the object or from the recipient. More pointed solranaka, I can say, let's say, I like Mysore Pak. Okay, so I think I'm giving a very gross example to drive the point. If the Mysore Pak, on getting Mysore Pak, I am happy. Okay, I eat. I feel I am happy. I am very satisfied. Then I have second one. So I am happy. Third one, fourth one. Then what happened? The same Mysore Pak which gave me happy, the fifth one, sixth one will not give the same happiness. That is one. Second, if what the consequence it brings, either stomach ache or whatever it may be, then it results in unhappiness also, which proves a point that the happiness is not coming from Mysore Pak. Clear? This is what I want to say. The happiness is not coming from the Mysore Pak. But happiness, I got the feeling of happiness. Abdina, and the happiness engendu varano?
Inner heart.
Okay. So this is the one point which all of you have to understand very clearly. So if a thing has to give happiness, it should give happiness for all the time, for all the people. Correct? Then only we can say that happiness is rest with the object. A thing which was giving happiness might another occasion might give unhappiness also. This person was very much like the rose flower, because the rose flower he gave it to his wife. The wife was very happy, and every time he goes out, he brings a rose flower and give it to her. She was happy, and because of the happy, he was happy. Okay. Then what happens? When unfortunately the wife was no more there. So then he, as usual, he picked up the rose flower. Will he get happiness or unhappiness? because he will associate the rose flower along with the wife. When she is no more, then it gives unhappiness to him. So these are all the points out to the fact that happiness doesn't rest with the object or a person. So that means there are only two things here. I am the one who handled the object or the person, and the object is one. Between these two only the transaction has taken place. If at all the happiness has come, either it has to come from the object or it has to come from me. When it is proven that it is not from the object, then only whatever left out is from me only. So what Veda says, the விஷயத்திலேந்து வர அந்த happiness ஆனந்தம், we call it as a vishaya anandam. In the first case, Mysurpa was a vishaya anandam. In the second case, the rose was a vishaya anandam. So when it is proven that the vishaya is no more associated with the anandam, then it has to be associated with me only. Correct? What Veda says, you are Ananda Swarupi. You are Ananda Swarupi. But enakku theriyaliye, because my Anandam is always associated with a person or an object or whatever it may be. So if I am the Ananda Swarupi, all the time I should be Anandam only. Is it correct? So that is why the Swarupam is defined, Atma Swarupam is defined as Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam or Anandam. Sat, Chit, Anandam. So the Anandam is the very nature. Okay? How it is nature? It is something like the heat and the light associated with the fire. Can we see a cold fire? We cannot see. That means it is its own intrinsic quality. Quality apart, we call it as a lakshana. This is a swarupam. Swarupam of fire is heat. Adhe mare, all our swarupam is also anandam. But theriyaliye angada, that is where we have to evolve ourselves. We have to make ourselves an adhikaritvam and then understand how our swarupam is anandam. Okay. The second question is, now so far it is understood. Okay. So we want to be happy. This is what our life, we want to, all that we want to happiness in all our day-to-day activities. Second thing is, when do we want to be happy? Morning, afternoon, evening?
Always, entire life.
Sada Anandam. Ilya? Sada Anandam. Okay. So what Veda comes and says that Sadanaka Eppudume. Okay. Eppudume naka, that is, it has to be present, continuous. Present, continuous. Okay. Anything existence is called is in English. Okay. Is the English. Then in Sanskrit, how do we call the existence is? How do we call? Unmute panichal.
Asti or Bhavati.
Asti. Asti is coming from what dhatu?
As dhatu.
As dhatu. As dhatu ka enna meaning?
to be, to exist.
To be, exist, is the thing. Okay. If the as dhatuva present continuous பண்ணனும்னாக்கா என்ன பண்ணோம்?
அத நம்ம சத்ருவோட போடும்போது சத்துன்னு வரும்.
சத்ரு வேணும். அப்ப என்ன ஆகும்? இது
சத்துன்னு வரும்.
சத்துன்னு ஆயிடும். அப்போ சத்துங்கிற சமயத்துல it indicate the is being is continuous is அது இங்கிலீஷ்ல எப்படி சொல்றது? being. Any ing included it shows the continuity of the activity. Rama goes it just indicate the lat lakara. Okay, Rama is going samitla he does the action of going now also, so the going will indicate the present continuous. Similarly, the sat will indicate the present continuous. Okay, so the Veda comes and says the sat is also is your swarupam. Apo sat chit anandatla sat is also my swarupam, anandam is also my swarupam. Correct? Okay, then what happened to the chit? Coming back to the thing, நான் ஆனந்தமா இருக்கேன் அப்படிங்கிறது எப்படி எனக்கு தெரியும்? How do you know if at all I am ஆனந்தம்? Unless I am a conscious person, I may not know. Supposing the table or the chair in which we are sitting, okay, is it a conscious entity or an unconscious and non-conscious entity?
Non-conscious entity.
It doesn't have the chaitanatvam. Okay, chit illa. Chittingaradu chit swarupam is a consciousness. And am I a conscious person or not?
Yes, we are.
And I am a conscious person all the time, because sat is also my swarupam. So I am sat all the time, I am there, and all the time I am a conscious person, all the time I am ananda person. So sat chit anandam is my real nature. I don't have to go out for any object outside or person outside for anandam. So both Veda and Bhagavad Gita drives this point in its own way. So we are presenting it in such a way we are able to relate to our day-to-day life. So far it is good?
Yes, Guruji.
So what is your soul? What are you? Adina enna solluval ipo?
I am Satchit Anandam.
Satchit Ananda Swarupam.
Confident ah solla mudiyuma? Aludunde Satchit Anandam solla mudiyuma? Mudiyadhu. That means யாரா சொல்ற மாதிரி வேதம் சொல்லியிருக்கு, பகவத்கீதை சொல்லியிருக்கு, ஆதிசங்கரர் சொல்லியிருக்கார், மகா பெரியவர் சொல்லியிருக்கா, யுவர் ஸ்வரூபம் இஸ் சச்சித் ஆனந்தம் அப்படின்னு தான் சொல்லுவோம். பட் என்ன பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் நான் இப்போ ஆனந்தம், இப்போ துக்கம், இப்போ so many problems are there. I have to get my grandchild into the school, I have to take them and things, so many problems. With all the problem, I am in no more mood to say I am Satchit Anandam. Am I correct? Appo there seems to be a distance between what is my real swarupam and what on a day-to-day life I am living. There seems to be a distance or sort of a discrepancy between what I am and what is my real swarupam. Is that correct?
Yes, very correct.
Okay. அப்போ இதை எப்படி கரெக்ட் பண்றது? So we have to then really understand our swarupam. And why we are unable to understand? Because we are associating ourselves with the various elements of our personality. Stula deham, sukshma deham, karana deham, or annamaya kosam, pranamaya kosam, etc. These are all technical words. We will understand the importance of that later. But what I am trying to say is, instead of associating ourselves with our swarupam satchit anandam, we say I am tired. When I say I am tired, what I mean?
My body is tired.
My mind is not becoming active, or my body is tired. It's not no more able to do its work. Okay. Innum umba grasa cholanaka, I am 5 feet 4 inches. I am 5 feet 4 inches. Okay. What do I mean? I associate myself with my size of the body. Correct? So if that person is very, very short, what that person will say? Aham hrasvaha. Or if he is very tall, I am lambaha. So the aham is what I am, but aham I associate along with the body dharma. This, whereas Shastra enna solradhe? Aham satyam jnanam anantam. That discrepancy is there. My swarupam is aham satyam jnanam anantam. Idu na sollala. This is being said, declared by the Veda and the Upanishad, Veda, Bhagavad Gita, all of them, they say consistently. And the Veda cannot say lie. Nare class lo sollirken, other class lo sollirken, because Veda says satyam vada. One should lead a life where one speaks always the truth. So appadin instruct pannapatta and the Vedam, will it say the falsehood? It will not say the falsehood. So when the Veda says aham satyam jnanam anantam, சொல்ற சமயத்துல ஆனந்தம் அப்படின்னு சொல்ற சமயத்துல it must be true. Whereas I take myself first, when I associate with the body, I am taking myself aham harasvaha. So harasvaha enge irukku, satyam jnanam anandam enge irukku, there seems to be different. Okay. Now, at another time, we associate ourselves with the conditions of the mind. Okay. We said, I am angry. எப்படி சொல்லுவேன் சான்ஸ்கிரிட்ல? அகம் என்ன சொல்லுவேன் கோபத்துக்கு?
குப்யாமி.
क्रोधं
கோபஹ. Whereas what is my swarupa?
satyam jnanam
anandam.
So in the mari, when we associate ourselves with the various conditions of the body and then keep on changing, or consistent ave irukradilla, maati sollinde irukom. In other words, நம்ம சாதாரணமா ஆக்டிவிட்டிஸ் பண்றது சொல்றது எல்லாமே ஒரே ஒளறலா இருக்காது, ஒளறலா இருக்கும். எப்போ ஒளறல் சொல்றோம்? When we are not consistent in our declaration of a thing. Am I correct? இல்லையா? இப்போ ஒரு சேம் ரோஸ் ஃப்ளவரோ இல்லைன்னா ஒரு லோட்டஸ் ஃப்ளவரோ காமிச்சிட்டு one time I say this is a lotus flower. After 5 minutes I say this is the same lotus flower காமிச்சு this is banana. Third time I show the same lotus flower and I say this is elephant. Appo my declaration there is no consistency. I keep on changing my stand. Correct? So adhe marida when we associate ourselves with the various conditions of the sthula deha, sukshma deha, etc., our declarations are not correct at all. Whereas the fact remains is aham satchit anandam. Appo இந்த fact therinjikkanum. This is the aim. This is where the Veda and the Bhagavad Gita comes into picture and makes us understand how we have to evolve ourselves to understand our true nature. Correct? So because these are all the fundamentals, very important to know about it. First logically, and then second, when we get into the Veda or Bhagavad Gita, how this is being practiced, how it is put into our day-to-day life, so that every time we evolve ourselves into the higher nature. It is like climbing a staircase. We cannot get to the first floor all of a sudden. Okay? We have to go, if the 15 steps are there, the 15 steps ought to be crossed. Similarly, in our day-to-day life, when we want to convert ourselves into the various conditions to the final Swarupa, aham satchit anandam, we have to go through a methodology of living. And what is the methodology of living is what the Veda as well as the Bhagavad Gita teaches us. So far it is clear. Can somebody very quickly recapture this, the important point, because very important. It's not class mari curtain pona parade. We have to, whatever we understand, we had to internalize, then only it become relevant for us. Can somebody do that?
Yes, Guruji.
Yes, சொல்லுங்க.
நம்மளுடைய நிஜ ஸ்வரூபம் சச்சித் ஆனந்தம் அப்படிங்கிறது உண்மையான ஸ்வரூபம். ஆனா நம்ம இந்த ஜென்மத்துல என்ன பண்றோம், டே டு டே லைஃப்ல வந்து நம்மள அசோசியேட் பண்ணிக்கிறோம். எய்தர் பாடி மைண்ட், பிசிக்கல் பாடியோட ரிலேட்டட் விஷயங்களை அசோசியேட் பண்ணிக்கிறோம், அல்லது மைண்ட் ரிலேட்டட் ஆப்ஜெக்ட்ஸ்ல, ரெண்டுமே ஆப்ஜெக்ட்ஸ் தான், அதுக்குண்டான விஷயங்கள்ல வந்து அசோசியேட் பண்ணிட்டு நம்மளுடைய தாட் ப்ராசஸ், நம்ம ஒரு ஆனந்தம்னு ஒரு சைட்ல இருக்கும், இல்லாட்டா ஒரு ஹாப்பினஸ் ஆர் அன்ஹாப்பினஸ், இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு ஸ்விங்கிலேயே தான் நமக்கு லைஃப் போயிட்டே இருக்கு. பட் இந்த நிஜஸ்வரூபம்ங்கிற ஒரு விஷயத்த வந்து நம்மளால உணராம நம்ம இருந்துட்டே இருக்கும். அந்த விஷயத்தை நோக்கி போறதுக்கு உண்டான ஒரு வழியை சொல்றதுதான் வேதமும் பகவத்கீதை. ஸோ அதுல குறிப்பிட்ட வழியில நம்ம அது சொன்ன வழியில நம்ம பயணிக்க ஆரம்பிக்கும் பொழுது அந்த நிஜஸ்வரூபத்தை நோக்கி நம்ம உணரக்கூடிய நிலையை அடையறதுக்கு வாய்ப்பு இருக்கு அப்படிங்கிறது ஒரு என்னுடைய.
Okay, excellent. But the first few points is logically we derive how happiness is my swarupa. What is the logic we employ?
Aim at happiness, sir. Always we aim at happiness. Wherever we are and whatever we do, we want only happiness through it. அப்ப அது அதனால நம்ம அந்த ஸ்வரூபத்தையே ஹாப்பினஸா வச்சுக்கிறோம், ஆனந்தம் தான் நமக்கு ஸ்வரூபம்னு வச்சுக்கிறோம்.
இல்ல வெச்சிக்கிறது மட்டும் இல்ல, அதை எப்படி வெச்சிக்கிறதுங்கிறதுக்கு லாஜிக் சொன்னேன்.
அது வந்து குருஜி
ஹாப்பினஸ்க்கு வேண்டி நம்ம என்ன பண்றோம்? ஹாப்பினஸ்க்கு வேண்டி இப்ப என்ன பண்றோம்?
நம்ம வந்து ஒருத்தருக்கு we do things and நம்ம பண்ற காரியங்கள்னால சில பேருக்கு ஹாப்பினஸ் இருக்கலாம், some people might not be happy, some people might be dissatisfied. So ஒரே காரியத்துல each multiple people will have multiple reactions to the same action that we do. So அதனால அவளோட ஆக்ஷன்ஸ வெச்சுண்டு அவளோட அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங்க வெச்சுண்டு நம்மளோட ஹாப்பினஸ் இருக்காது. அவர் ஹாப்பினஸ் இஸ் இன் அஸ். So நம்ம தான் ஆனந்த ஸ்வரூபம்.
You are correct. இதை விட ரொம்ப சிம்பிளா சொல்லணும்னாக்கா, if a thing were to give happiness, it should give happiness for all people for all the time. Then only we can say the happiness rests with the object. Okay, I gave the person's example only for to drive the point, but more gross example is that if any object were to give happiness to anybody, it should be intrinsic to that object. It should give all the time happiness to all the people. Okay, so a thing which is giving happiness to me may not give happiness to another person. For a diabetes, the same Mysore pak may not give happiness. He might even adverse it. So all this thing proves the happiness doesn't rest with the object. When I say object, it is not only the simple object but also a person. Okay, so that means only whatever left out is the anandam should have come out of me only, because there are only two things are involved. I am and I am dealing with my Swarupa. Nobody else is involved. And the happiness, when I took the first Swarupa, I was happy. So the happiness also I consciously felt it. And now we have come to the conclusion that the happiness doesn't rest with the Mysore. So then the happiness should have come out of me. So that the Veda points out that the happiness is your own Swarupa. It is not coming and going of happiness. Your Swarupa is happiness. Exactly like a fire is not hot sometime, it is not cold sometime. It is not. It is all the time is hot. It is its intrinsic Swarupa. Similarly, my intrinsic Swarupa is Anandam. So logically we derived it. Correct? So that is how when the logic proves, then only we will be able to assimilate it very, very clearly. Okay? Then the same Veda says, same also we extend that, I want to be happy all the time. And Veda says, your Swarupa is Sat, being is your Swarupa. So I am also being and also I am Ananda. So that means what? I am eternally Ananda. And I as a conscious person is again eternal, and I know I am Ananda. So that means logically we can come to the conclusion, my Swarupa as said by the Veda as Satchit Ananda must be true. So that assimilation should be there first. Then we relate, but on a day-to-day life, I mean that Ananda I am not feeling all the time. I don't get it. Many times we are encountering so many problems, so many these things. Most of the time our Ananda Swarupam is not there at all. We don't feel like that, isn't it? So that happen when we associate ourselves with the other things. and we move away from what is our Swarupa. That means we have, all of us have created a gap as though between my Swarupa and what I am doing on a day-to-day basis. This is a fact, relative fact as far as the Vyavaharika world is concerned. Okay? Am I making it very clear? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So the next step is, then why this gap has arisen and how to overcome this gap. Correct? Why the gap has come and how to overcome the gap. When the gap is overcome, then we will realize as we do our job, whether I am doing a office work or whether I am doing a cooking at the house or I am doing other chores of the house, as even I am doing it, I am doing it with all Ananda Swarupa. This eventually is what will be able to achieve. Okay. So now the question is, first question is, why this gap? Okay. For which the answer are there in both Veda and Bhagavad Gita. Before that, then all the living beings are not of the in the same status. Living means we call it as a, in Sanskrit we call it as a prani. Okay. Prani nale enna arthanaka pranal endu varavandiya word, that which breathes is called is a prani. Pranin is a shabda. So you will understand how the word is derived. Pranin means ini pratyaya. Okay. So that which breathes is called prani. So from that point of view, all the vegetations are also prani. They are also live. Then all the animals are also breathe. They are also prani. Then human beings like us are also doing the breathing. So we are also prani. The aquatic animals, they are also breathe. They are also prani. So all of us are prani. Then what is the difference between a human and the other prani? There ought to be a difference, because sorry,
human being ala think panni decision edukka mudiyum.
That's what I am trying to come to that stage. The prani, let's say an aquatic thing, a shark will not go to the LIC agent for insuring its life. No, because I have to connect it to this thing. Be careful. Okay. It just lives. Okay. So what I'm saying that we do, because we are thinking person. So this is said in a sloka form, which some of you may be having. This also comes from one of the Prakarana Grantha. Okay. There are certain common things between all other prani and the human being. There is also a difference between all other prani and the human. And the difference is what makes the real thing of a human being. What it is, we'll see. Ahara, Nidra, Bhaya, Maitunam cha Samanyam eva. Ahara, Nidra, Bhaya, Maitunam cha Samanyam eva. Tatu Pashubhihi Naranam. Idu Anvayam panno. I'm just saying the sloka as it is. Pashubhir Naranam. So what is the meaning? Between Pashuna, all animals has taken. Here it is not mentioned the vegetation. We can bring in the vegetation. Pashu means not simple Pashu, cow. It includes all the animals. So Pashubhir Naranam. What is the samasa? First we have to arrive at the Pashubhir Naranam Grada, we have to arrive at the Pradipadika. Then after the Pradipadika, we have to look at it, what is the samasa. Correct? Okay, do the homework, but my classes will be like that only, because whatever we learned, we have to apply. Okay, fine. You can do it yourself. So Pashubhir Narana, at least one can say what type of vibhati. What is the rupani of that?
Ukarantah pashu. First we will take like this. Pashubhir nara. That will be the Pashub. Actually there is two words. Pashubhihi Naranam.
Okay. No, the Pashubhir Narana. The Pashubhir Naranam garde Pradipadikam sollugo. This itself is it's a no.
Pashubhir Nara.
Pashubhir Nara. So Akarantaha.
That will be Akarantaha, Pullingaha, Pashubhir Nara Shabdaha, Shashti Vibhakti Bahuvachanam.
Yes, that is how we have to arrive at. Then later we have to see what is the samasa. Okay, fine. That is only as I say. So that means between the Pashu and the Nara, these are all common. Samanyam eva. Samanyam, it is same. It is same for both. What is same? Aharam. To live, everybody has to eat. They have to, we all being the bioenergy requirement, we all get it from the bio only, aharam. So by aharam only we live. Okay. Then nidra. When we work in the morning, we get tired, then we have to take rest, nidra. Then bhaya. Because as I am being an individual and I encounter the whole world in front of me, so it is I pitted against the whole world. So anybody will have that bhaya of limitation. This bhaya of limitation. I am a limited person. Then maitunam. Maitunam means mitunasya bhavam maitunam. It is either the maitunam by marriage or maitunam by friendship. These are all that is common for both Pashubhi and Narana. Clear? Then buddhihi tesham adigaha visheshaha. Tesham buddhihi adigaha visheshaha. Kesham buddhihi. Narana. So the difference between the Nara and the Pashu is the buddhi. I'll explain that further later. Okay. Buddhya hina pasubir samanaha. Buddhya hina pasubir samanaha. The one who is devoid of buddhi is equivalent to animal. Is that now clear? I will again read. Ahara nidra bhaya maitunam cha samanyamevatati pashubir naranam. Buddhihi tesham adigo visheshaha buddhyahina pashubir samanaha. Okay. So what distinguishes the human being from the animal is not the tail, it is not the foreleg, it is the buddhi. That makes the difference. The buddhi has got certain visheshas. One, the buddhi is given the choice of the exercising the choice. That means we have got the free will. Animals doesn't have free will in the sense, okay, it is all programmed. A tiger will live in its way. The camel will live in its way. The cockroach will live in its way. It is all programmed. It doesn't have dharma or adharma. If we go and stand behind a donkey, it will kick, because it feels its life is threatened by the presence of a strange person. So it wants to protect itself. That is the instinct. To live is an instinct in that. So it will kick. By doing the kicking, okay, it will not acquire any papa at all. Correct? Supposing if we do, because we are a conscious person, before we kick, first of all we will say whether this person is stronger than me or not. If he is stronger than me, I will not do that. That means I got a discriminative power. Second, whether this person has done a harm or not for me. These are all the thinking process we all will get it. That means he is endowed with the thinking power also. Then based on the thinking, he can exercise his free will to kick or not, or go away from that place. So this is what is some of the aspect of the buddhi. So buddhi is an exclusive faculty for given to a human being. It is there in the Ishvara's Srishti. We have not acquired that buddhi. The basic buddhi is there in every human being. Whether we make use of it properly or not is in our hands. It is like any other instrument. The knife we have got, which we wield, we can use it for a good purpose. We can use it for cutting the vegetables. Or the same knife, I can use it to harm somebody. So the knife is an instrument. It is all the wielder who decide how to make use of it, and in what intention he wants to make use of the knife. If he is a doctor and want to save the person, he may do a surgery. But the purpose, their intention of the doctor is to save the person. It's not to harm the person. So the intention also determines. So the intention one can have only for a human being. So all this thing is part of the buddhi. In other words, the main function of the buddhi, we call it as a viveka. Generally, we translate viveka as a knowledge. But as a Sanskrit person, we know how the word viveka is derived. V plus which dhatu. V plus which, okay, plus gan pratyaya. homework for all of you, how this will give rise to viveka. Kutvam take place, okay? Then there is the guna also take place. Which is to separate. That is the dhatu meaning is which is to separate. Then what is the prefix V stands for? As per our Shastra, the V stands for Visheshena, in the particular cause. So, Visheshena, separate, to separate. That means the separation has to be done in a particular manner. Then only it is called Vivekam. Okay? Hope all of you are taking notes of it. I might ask question next class again, because it's very important. We cannot move like that. Okay. So because we are all endowed with Vivekam, this is again in the Ishvara Srishti, we have to make use of it. We cannot misuse it. Correct? Whereas animals doesn't have that Viveka Buddhi is not there. It has got a Buddhi to limited extent. Limited in the sense that I am an elephant. It knows. An elephant knows I am an elephant. And then if it sees a goat, it knows that this is other than me. It is not elephant jati. To that extent it knows. Correct? And in an elephant, if it sees ikshu, that is the karumbu, it knows that this is a aharam for me. To that extent it can discriminate. These are all the things to which they are doing. But they are all programmed, whether it will not look into whether this particular, the karumbu is from this particular person, he is a nice person, I should not take out this thing from him. It will not know. If there is a karumbu, it is meant for me. That is how it will think. Then it will eat. So it will not acquire any papa or punya by doing that action. Because it is all programmed. It is in the design of the Ishvara. Whereas when we have the separateness of the buddhi, this belongs to me, this belongs to that person. That type of idea when we have, we already made that difference. Then I have to desist from taking unauthorizedly from another person. That means we will have to use our viveka to determine what is dharma and what is adharma. If we don't do this dharma and adharma, we increase the gap between fill up the blank. If we don't follow the dharma, we increase the gap between
Satchidanand and actual Swarupa.
We deviate from our actual Swarupa to our present Swarupa. We make a difference. See the relevance of the dharma in our action. So that is where the viveka comes into the picture for the human being. Okay. So 4:40 aayadithe. Should I continue, or are there any question from the book on the grammar point? Since I didn't get any question, I thought all of you are very thorough. Question irukku.
Question irukku, sir.
okay சரி முடிஞ்ச வரைக்கும் அப்ப என்ன shall I continue? We'll stop at this point and continue with the question. Okay, question whichever is possible I'll try to answer. The rest of it I'll answer it over the WhatsApp. Okay, I would prefer somebody to summarize this in the next class. Who will be able to do? Because it has to be turn by turn, everybody has to do, because it has to involve you can mute it during the class, but you have to speak it out in the next class. Okay, சொல்லுங்க. We had seen up to 18, I suppose.
குருஜி எனக்கு ஒரு சில்லியா ஒரு டவுட் இருக்கு குருஜி.
இல்ல the doubt is relevant to this Sanskrit of the Geetha or outside of the Geetha?
இன்னைக்கு கிளாஸ் நீங்க எடுத்தீங்க இல்லையா, அதுல ஒரு டவுட் குருஜி. இந்த சச்சிதானந்த ஸ்வரூபம்னு சொன்னேன் இல்லையா,
ஆமா
அதுல ஒரு டவுட். அது வந்து ஆக்சுவலி ரொம்ப சில்லியா இருக்கும் இந்த டவுட். பட் ஒரு டவுட் உங்ககிட்ட தான் கேட்க முடியும் குருஜி. நீங்க சொன்னீங்க நம்ம எல்லாம் சச்சிதானந்த ஸ்வரூபம்னு, அப்ப நம்ம வந்து இந்த வேதத்து பிரகாரமா இந்த கீதை பிரகாரமா அந்த மாதிரி எல்லாம் நம்ம இருக்க ஆரம்பிச்சோம்னா, இப்போ பகவானுக்கு பின்னாடி வந்து ஒரு ஒரு ஒளி வருதுன்னா அந்த மாதிரி நமக்கு பின்னாடி ஒரு ஒளி வரும் குருஜி.
என்ன வருது புரியல, சாரி. பகவத்கீதை பின்னாடி
சச்சிதானந்த ஸ்வரூபம் அப்படின்னா ஒரு ஒளி, ஒரு என்ன சொல்றது, ஒரு ஆல்
தலையை சுத்தி ஒளி வருங்கிறல, அதெல்லாம் ஒண்ணு கிடையாது. இப்ப எப்படி இருப்பேளோ அதே மாதிரி தான் இருப்பேள். only you will understand. It is something like that. Supposing you are a graduate of physics, will there be anything associated physics will be with there? Or if you are a graduate of chemistry, your molybdenum, other molecules will be around the thing? No, it's like that. It is nothing. You will be there as it is. But your attitude towards the life will be different. That attitudinal difference will be there. Fundamentally, the attitude in terms of our day-to-day life will be iruppadellam iraivane, everything is God. Idam sarvam ishvaraha, that will be very clear. இது கொண்டு நம்மளோட சனாதன தர்மத்துல இது இன்ட்ரின்சிக்கா இருக்கு. பட் அதை வந்து பிராக்டிக்கலா கொண்டு வரணும். நீங்க வந்து ஏதோ ஒரு பழங்குடி மக்கள்கிட்ட போயிட்டு எங்கேயோ தூரத்துல இருக்க அவள்கிட்ட கேளுங்க கடவுள் எங்க இருக்காரு கேட்டானாக்கா என்ன ஆன்சர் சொல்லுவா?
தூணிலும் இருப்பான், துரும்பிலும் இருப்பான்,
எங்கும் இருப்பான் அப்படின்னா எல்லா இடத்துலயும் இருப்பாங்க. அவனுக்கு புரிஞ்சதோ புரியலையோ, it is all there in our culture. It has been brought generation of generation, all emanating from Veda and Bhagavad Gita only. But அது புரியாம சொல்றான். அவனுக்கு ஒரு ஸ்ரத்தை இருக்கு, இருப்பதெல்லாம் இறைவனே இறைமையெல்லாம். அதை வந்து குழந்தைக்கு சொல்லணும்னாக்கா எப்படி சொல்றது? எல்லா இடத்துலயும் இருக்குன்னு சொல்ல முடியாது. ஏன்னா பிரகலாதன்ட்ட கேட்டப்போ பிரகலாதன்ட்ட வந்து இரண்யகசிபு கேட்டப்போ எங்க இருப்பான்? தூணிலும் இருப்பான், துரும்பிலும் இருப்பான். Because தூண் was in front of him, so he could able to relate it and say, and out of the tune came the Narasimha. These are all through an anecdote. This basic concept is brought out. Basic concept is Ishvara or God is everywhere. He can be there in a pillar or it can be even in a dust. tatparyam means he is there everywhere. Idam sarvam ishvaraha. Idam gra samayatla what we mean is aham idam. Aham gra samayatla nammal anything other than me is idam. That is the whole jagat, including my own body, mind, intellect. All these things are idam. So idam sarvam ishvaraha. Iruppadellam irevane. All that is here is Ishvara. This will be our way of looking day to day life. Okay. சொல்லுங்க.
சார் நாங்க வந்து இன்னைக்கு பண்ணினத்துல ஒரு 25th ஸ்லோகால 25th verse भीष्म द्रोण प्रमुखतः सर्वेषां च महीक्षिताम् उवाच पार्थ पश्येतान् समवेतान् कुरुनिति. இதுல வந்து எங்களுக்கு எல்லாமே புரிஞ்சது. இந்த பீஷ்ம துரோண பிரமுகத்தக இது வந்து எப்படி ஃபார்ம் ஆகுது, இதுக்கு ஒவ்வொரு மீனிங் வந்து எங்களுக்கு டிஃபரெண்டா வருது. அதான் எப்படி புரியல எனக்கு. எங்க யாருக்குமே அது புரியல அன்னைக்கு.
ஓகே, ஒரு நிமிஷம் நான் அன்வயம் பார்த்துடுறேன். ஓகே, இப்போ பாருங்க 31st பேஜ்ல இந்த சமாசா இதோடு இது பண்ணிருக்கா. பீஷ்ம பிரமுகதः பீஷ்மஸ்ச துரோணஸ்ச பீஷ்ம துரோணோ द्वन्द्व சமாசா. that's very clear. okay, then பீஷ்ம துரோணயோஹோ பிரமுகம் தஸ்மின். so இந்த தஸ்மின்ங்கிறது is the 7th vibhakti. when we add a tasil pratyaya it becomes tas, and tas will become taha, so that will become bhishma drona pramukataha. So sir, it is a sorry then I mudichudren. It is a tasil pratyaya, and tasil pratyaya when it is added to a pradipatikam it becomes a avyaya. That is why it becomes bhishma drona pramukataha. then pramukataha na enna meaning important people. pramukha சொல்றோம்ல தமிழ்ல அதேதான். பீஷ்மம் துரோணங்கப்பட்ட பிரமுகர்கள் எந்த இடத்தில் இருக்கிறார்களோ அவர்கள் பீஷ்ம துரோண பிரமுகதா. என்ன வருது சென்டென்ஸ்? சர்வேஷாம் ச மகீக்ஷிதா. யாரு மகீக்ஷிதாம்? மகீக்ஷிதாம் என்னது?
people who are warriors இல்லையாங்க.
மகீக்ஷிதாம் வாச்ச. I hope I made it clear.
இல்ல இப்ப எனக்கு என்னன்னா இந்த தசல் பிரத்யை ஜெனரலி நம்ம வந்து இந்த தக யூஸ் பண்ணும்போது பஞ்சமிக்கு தானே யூஸ் பண்ணுவோம்.
இல்ல இல்ல, பஞ்சமியில வரும், திருத்தியால வரும், சப்தமியில வரும், பட் predominantly பஞ்சமியில வரும். it can, நீங்க பாருங்க மிச்சிகா புக்ல இருக்கு தசில் பிரத்யா. it can come in tritiya vibhakti and saptami vibhakti also.
and the other sentence there is tatah swarthe tasihi அப்படினு கொடுத்திருக்கா. அதுலயே ஷஷ்டி தத்புருஷக்கு அடுத்தது அத இல்லையா? அதுதான் எனக்கு கன்ஃபியூஷனா இருந்துச்சு.
ஸ்வார்த்தே தசிஹி தசில். ஸ்வார்த்தேங்கிற சமயத்துல it is not adding anything anything extra. Okay, that is what is saying. Tasil pratyaya add pannalum it indicates Bhishma, Drona and the Pramugargal அப்படிங்கிற மீனிங்ல மட்டும்தான் இருக்கு அப்படிங்கிறது. This is also another way of using it that's possible. என்னன்னா ஸ்வார்த்தே. இந்த ஸ்வார்த்தேங்கிறது வேற பார்த்திருக்கோம். When we are adding the
நம்ம நிச்சு யூஸ் பண்ணும். நிச்சு யூஸ் பண்ணும்போது ஸ்வார்த்தே நிச்சு.
ஸ்வார்த்தே நிச்சு.
ஏத்துமதி நிச்சு.
ஆமா. ஸ்வார்த்தே நிச்சு யூஸ் பண்ற சமயத்துல it will convey the dhatu meaning only. அதே மாதிரி here the tasil is conveying only the pradipadika meaning மட்டும்தான்.
அப்ப in front of னு வராதா இந்த இடத்துல அர்த்தம் வந்து?
இல்ல it is not coming. This thing is split like that, but it is எங்க பற்ற பிரமுகர்கள்ங்கற மீனிங்ல தான் வருது. இந்த மீனிங் கொடுத்திருப்பாங்களே. மீனிங்ல பீஷ்ம துரோணாதீனாம் சம்முகே சம்முகேங்கிற சமயத்துல இன் ஃப்ரண்ட்ங்கிறதா வருது.
அதனாலதான் சார் எனக்கு ரொம்ப குழப்பமா இருக்கு. இன் ஃப்ரண்ட் ஆஃப் அப்படின்னு வருது. அதான் கேக்குறேன்.
Probably the person who did has not connected the samasa along with the meaning that sammukena seventh case la irukke. Sammuke seventh case la irukke. So that means that tasil is used in the seventh case only in front of the Bhishma and Drona. Me tataha swarte tasihi. I don't know. I will look into it whether it conveys anything else. But offhand I don't think so. That seems to be correct. Okay.
Thank you, sir. I think this was the only doubt we had, isn't it, Sumati? Sumati,
எத்தனை முடிச்சிருக்க? எவ்வளவு முடிச்சிருக்க?
இதுதான்.
இதுவரைக்கும் பண்ணிருக்கேன். ஓகே ஓகே.
இதுதான் மார்க் பண்ணி வச்சிருந்தோம், வேற எதுவும் இல்ல.
And the summarize பண்றது யாரு கிளாஸுக்கு வரலையோ அவ சம்மரைஸ் பண்ணணும் primarily. If they can't do, then வந்தவா பண்ணணும். இப்போ வந்து 24 பேர்ல 11 பேர் தான் இருக்கா. Some of them said they are not able to attend, but everybody should be involved.
Sir, 30 வரைக்கும் பண்ணிருக்கோம் சார். Up to 30th ஸ்லோகம் we have finished.
Okay, 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 fine.
30th பண்ணிட்டோம் இல்லையா? ஆமா.
Sure.
30th
it is giving you a better idea. The whole thing gives you the
அது வந்து அந்த டியூஸ்டே கிளாஸஸ் ஓப்பனா சொல்லணும் அப்படின்னு சொன்னானா நாங்க திரும்ப ஒரு 4-5 பேர் தான் சார் இருக்கோம் அதுல. ஓகே, ஒரு 5 மேக்ஸிமம் 5-6 பேர் வேணா இருக்கும். அதுக்கு மேல எல்லாம் everybody has got they are already preoccupied, so we can't force anybody. but நாங்க ரெக்கார்டிங் போட்டுடுறோம் சார். so others are listening to the recording, so everybody is aware of what we are doing. That is what.
Okay. But as far as this Geetha class is concerned, I may not be satisfied with that. Even those who are absent should be in a position to summarize or answer the question. Because, this cannot be, I'll tell you, when I said Bhagavad Gita is nothing but Veda. And Veda we approach with all the relevance. Later I am going to say how Veda is a pramanam. Okay? So, Vedam வந்து சொல்லி கேட்கறதுக்கே இதுக்கு பலம் உண்டு. ஓகே, வேத கோஷம் பண்ணாக்கா அது கேட்கறதுலயே புண்ணியம் உண்டு. பட் நம்ம என்ன பண்றோம், பகவத்கீதையை படிச்சு அதோட மீனிங்கை தெரிஞ்சுட்டு meaning of Veda also we are doing. So it's going to be much more important. Appo our reverence to Bhagavad Gita should be as much as to the Veda. And the reverence, how we can show? Only by our involvement in that. So I am very particular that I am even distinguishing the study of Bhagavad Gita from the study of other Prakarana Grantha. I have taken Atmabodha, I have taken Drittrishi Viveka, they are all also considered as part of Veda, but more so the Bhagavad Gita. So on the reverence irundha and the blessings of Bhagavad Gita, blessings of Bhagavan, blessings of Veda will reach. So from that standpoint of view, all of you have to involve. So the absent it's okay, unavoidable circumstances irukala, and afterwards class கேட்டுக்கிறேன் அப்படினாக்கா கேட்கணும். class கேட்டுட்டு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டபிளான question கேட்கணும். அல்லனா I will ask. Those who are absent, definitely I will ask certain question. So they have to come prepared. And if somebody is absent for 5 classes continuously, I will remove the name. Because it is not a so simple thing. In fact, the Vyakaranam also, Vyakaranam is considered as a Upaveda. Vyakaranatthiliyum adhe attitude irukkanum. Because Vedathila evla shraddha irukkanumo athana shraddha Vyakaranatthiliyum irukkanum. So okay, adile vande konja concession kodukkalam. But as far as the Gita is concerned, it is to be considered. It is not for my sake, to satisfy me, nothing, sir. And also when somebody asked the question some time back, he said, she said, neenga sonna our swarupa satyam jnanam anantam brahma. Na sollala, I am only repeating what the Shastra says. And then how what Shastra says is true ngirda I am trying to unfold with what the learning I have reached. That's the only thing. Okay, so this I want everybody to be very clear with. Sure. Okay, yeah, mudichirungo, class mudichirungo, prayer oda.
Swasti Bhara.
Shri Arunchal Nane solra vare nimshango.
Is it a new prayer, Sumati, or old one?
Anchirka, okay.
I don't know.
Sahanau Bunaktu Sakaviryam Karavavake Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Vitvishavake. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. This is Veda Mantram. Then the normal sloka form is also meaningful. Later some other time I will give the meaning of it. You also can understand this thing. Namah Shivayeti Shivam Prapatye Shiva Prasida iti Shivam Prapatye Shivatparam iti Shivam Prapatye Shivohamasmi iti Shivam Prapatye. Sure.